citizens of our nation! RAWR here, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new Netflix original series, 13 Reasons Why. So, 13 Reasons Why is about this high school girl named Hannah Baker who tragically commits suicide after having dealt with bullying and depression. Prior to her committing suicide, she records a series of 13 tapes, with each one being directed at someone who had something to do with why she committed suicide in the first place. She sends them out with instructions for everyone to listen to them and then to send them to the next person after they finish. The series follows a boy named Clay, who is a friend of Hannah's, as he listens to each tape and he struggles to come to terms with her suicide. This series is based off of the popular young adult novel written by J. Asher. And honestly, I don't think I have ever said this before in my life, and you will probably never hear me say this again. This TV series was better than the novel. I was in shock about the quality of this series. It is phenomenal. I'll admit that I did not have many expectations for this TV series, but god damn, this series it's sky high. The cast in this show is fantastic, particularly Dylan Minnette, who plays Clay, and Catherine Langford, who plays Hannah. I'm telling you, these two kids, they are going to be superstars one day. I have never seen a more talented group of young adults. Dylan does a good job portraying how these tapes affect Clay psychologically, and it's very frightening to actually see how his character progresses as the series goes on. He goes into some very dark places, and I totally believed the actor. Catherine Langford, on the other hand, this lovely young lady who you see on my screen over here, she brings these innocent yet eerie sensibilities to Hannah Baker. The series cuts between the past, when Hannah is still alive, and the present, with all the characters trying to deal with the repercussions of her suicide. In the past, portions of this series, Langford just makes you fall in love with the character. She's very outgoing, she's very sweet, she's kind to everyone, and that really does make you feel bad for her because after all, she is the victim in this series. However though, in the present sections of this series, Langford is very creepy and frightening. It's like she's a ghost and she's haunting everyone who has ever done anything bad to her. It's fascinating how she's able to do that. This is also one of the most well-written shows I have seen in years. There are 13 tapes, which obviously means that there are 13 other characters. Every character is vastly different from all the others, and the series shows how they deal with the repercussions of the suicide in their own way. Aside from that, each character is given their own backstory and their own personal conflicts to deal with. For example, there's one character who's struggling to come to terms with her sexual orientation. There's another character who's dealing with domestic abuse back at home. Every single character in the show was very well-rounded. Props to the writers. And another big thing that I have to say about this series is the parents in this show. Now, it's been several years since I read the book, so I could be wrong about this, feel free to correct me, but I don't remember the parents, being in the book that much. Hannah's parents are clearly devastated by this loss, and they are desperate for answers. They want to know why this had to happen. They believe that the school didn't do anything in terms of helping her or stopping her bullying, so they're involved in this whole legal battle with them, and that is one of the most interesting subplots in this series. Clay's parents, on the other hand, they are concerned parents. They see how their son's mental health is deteriorating and they're desperate to help him in any way, even though he constantly shuts them out. The parents in this show were really great characters. Again, another props to the writers. And another thing about this show that really stands out to me is that this is the most honest depiction of what it's like to be in high school that I have ever seen in any TV or movie ever. Hannah deals with all of this bullying and abuse in her school, and the teachers and the other adults they are either completely oblivious to it or they disregard her as nothing. I am someone who has had to deal with bullying before, and I can say that that cannot be any more true. I was very glad that they didn't sugarcoat that at all because it's very realistic. This is a very real issue. Schools need to get your shit together, man. What also adds to the realism of this show is that it deals with some very hardcore topics such as drugs, sex, domestic abuse, sexual abuse, rape, depression, violence. Now, this might be very shocking for some of you to hear, but as someone who only graduated from high school almost 5 years ago, I can tell you firsthand that these are all things that happen in high schools in this day and age. I can honestly say that almost everything that happens to Hannah or these other characters in this series, it's either happened to me to a lesser extent or I have seen it happen to other people throughout my high school years. So I really, really, really have to applaud this series for not shying away from such serious topics. It does not sugarcoat anything. This series is really the ugly truth about what happens in high schools in this day and age. And these are all very serious topics that we should be talking about, that we should be educating our children about, so they know how to deal with this. So in that regard, this is a very important series. As for negatives about this series, I can say that maybe the pacing was just a little slow in the first 3, maybe 4 episodes, but that's all I got. I know, it's shocking. This series did almost everything to perfection. I can't really find any other negatives. Overall, 13 Reasons Why is a very, very, very important series that is also very outstanding as well. If you're in high school or in college even, I cannot recommend this series enough to you. If you're a parent of someone who is in high school or even middle school, you need to watch this series because I guarantee you, your kids will see stuff like this happen or deal with it themselves. I really can't believe that I am about to say this, and trust me, this never happens. But on my rating scale, 13 Reasons Why gets a 10 out of 10. I know, it's shocking, and I mean, in terms of TV series, like Game of Thrones, that is my all-time favorite. That is the greatest TV show ever made. This is number 2. So, 13 Reasons Why. All episodes are on Netflix right now. Have you guys seen it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Comment down below and let me know. Before I go, there's 2 quick things that I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, as I mentioned before, 13 Reasons Why is a very realistic depiction of what it's like to be in high school, or what it's even like to be a young adult in this day and age. With that in mind, suicide is a very, very real thing. I have now known 2 people who have committed suicide. One happened several years ago. There was another one just a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to go into the details, but if you're from my hometown and you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I just want to say this to anyone out there who may be struggling with their own personal demons. It is okay to not be okay. Please, feel free to reach out to anyone. Do not be afraid to do so. Do not be afraid to seek out help. Because, trust me, while it might not seem like it, there is somebody out there who cares. There is somebody out there who will help you. I just want you to know that you are beautiful, you are important, you are loved, and most of all, you are not alone. I know that there are times where it might feel like you are alone, but trust me when I say that you are not. So please do not pick a permanent solution to temporary problems. If there's anything that you can take away from 13 Reasons Why, it's that you affect everyone who is around you. And trust me when I say that there will be people who are devastated if they ever lose you. And if you know somebody who is going through a rough period or is going through a depression, please reach out to them. Be a friend. Give them a hug. Tell them that they are loved and that you value them. But most of all, just be there for them. And if you or if someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please, please, please call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. With that out of the way, I now want to take this opportunity to make a very special announcement. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I mean, I kind of like Star Wars a little bit. You don't know the power of the dark side. Next weekend, I will be attending Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, Florida. And guess what? I'm taking you guys with me. You heard it right. I'm going to be vlogging the entire time that I am there. You guys are going to get to see all the cool stuff that I see, just as if you're right there with me. There will be new videos Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. They're most likely going to go up like very late at night, but whatever. What my plan is, I'm going to be taking you guys, throughout my day. You're going to see everything that I see. And when I get back to the hotel at night, I'm going to do a quick breakdown of any news that comes out throughout the day, so you guys will be updated. I am so excited for this, and I hope you guys are too. I will see you guys next week in Orlando. Farewell, citizens of our nation. Catch you all next time.